All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the Buffalo Bills get absolutely owned tonight by the Tennessee Titans, losing 42-16. Gotta give a lot of credit to the Tennessee Titans. You're talking about a team that I think only practiced for like a day or two. I know they had a couple weeks off, and they really had to try to, they had to pretty much practice on their own for the most part. There was the controversial private practice on a high school field that obviously got a lot of the COVID cases. They broke league policy, and a lot of not a lot of Bills fans, but a lot of fans were calling for the game to be canceled and for the Tennessee Titans to forfeit. Of course, that did not happen. The Buffalo Bills went ahead and that this game was moved to Tuesday. But Tennessee did a phenomenal job despite all the limitations that they had practicing on their own and really having 2 days of practice. This Titan team came in here and they absolutely dominated the Buffalo Bills. They were dominant off the line of scrimmage on both sides, on both the offense and the defensive side of the ball. Ryan Tannehill was very, very efficient. There was barely any pressure on Tannehill at all, especially when it came to containing the edge. Ryan Tannehill pretty much ran to the outside whenever he wanted to make plays, whether it was in the run game or the passing game. A.J. Brown was uncoverable tonight. Josh Norman was onto him a lot, especially on man-to-man coverage, which was kind of confusing because Josh Norman's known as his own corner. But because Tre'Davious White did not play in today's game today, normally Trey White would be on A.J. Brown, but Josh Norman was the guy, and he got absolutely owned. Right, Josh Norman got absolutely owned on every type of route concept that you can potentially think of. Teron Johnson, whether it was Teron Johnson covering somebody in the slot, whether it was Lewis, or if we just couldn't cover. Simple as that. We could not cover in the secondary. Linebacking, we had Tremaine Edmonds. Matt Milano was out for this game, so we had to have Tyrell Dodson come in and fill that spot. Defensive line couldn't put any pressure on Ryan Tannehill. Again, this offensive line for the Tennessee Titans did a phenomenal job as far as pass protection. But again, no pressure, and most importantly, the Bills just couldn't contain Ryan Tannehill on the outside. They just couldn't do it. It sucked, that it happened, but it is what it is. The Buffalo Bills have got to find a way to establish a pass rush because that was the biggest question coming off the offseason, right? With the loss of Jordan Phillips, with the loss of Shaq Lawson, right? Can they find the pass rushers to get to the quarterback? Now, Quentin Jefferson did have a sack in this game, but we really didn't have that much of a pass rush going in today's game. And the Buffalo Bills are facing Kansas City. They're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs next week after they're coming off a loss, and Kansas City they're just as good, if not better, than Tennessee. So Buffalo's got to fix that issue. But again, talking about the Tennessee Titans real quick, again, they were phenomenal on both sides. Not even on both sides. They were good on special teams, offense, defense. Defensively, they were able to establish a pass rush, and again, they didn't need to blitz. They needed to pretty much rush forward, and they can flush Josh Allen outside the pocket or make him step up, and there was always something there. The secondary did a phenomenal job, and that's just great game planning, game planning by their coaching staff. They pretty much forced Josh Allen. They forced his offense to pretty much have a lot of those dink and dunk throws, a lot of those short intermediate throws, not really letting any big explosive plays happening in the back end. Their linebacking core, I thought, did a good job in coveraging too. There were times where Stephon Diggs was triple teamed. There were times where Cole Beasley wasn't really involved in the second half, but I felt like they did a phenomenal job in really containing him in the first half. Especially when they were playing a lot of zone coverage there. Gabriel Davis couldn't really get anything going. Andre Roberts sucks. I hate to say it, but Andre Roberts just sucks. I know there was a little bit of he did. You can make an argument the game changer of the game was Andre Roberts when he dropped that pass, where he tipped that pass up to the Tennessee Titans defender, which was an interception. Again, I understand it was a little behind out Roberts, but you got to make that catch. And Roberts failed to make it. Just overall wise, Tennessee just outplayed the Bills, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Titans, man. They just outplayed the Buffalo Bills on all phases of the game. Coaching wise, they definitely outcoached our staff. Just got to give a lot of credit to the Titans for what they were able to do. Josh Allen was average. I didn't think he had a bad game. I thought he was average for the most part. Josh Allen, again, the first interception, not really his fault. Again, I understand it was a little behind Roberts, but Roberts still has to make that catch. But the second interception was Old Allen. I mean, that was just a what the hell are you doing type of throw. And it wasn't the only throw like that. There were some more throws, whether it was in triple coverage. It was kind of like Josh Allen was forcing passes tonight, try to make plays happen, try to make those big plays happen because Buffalo was behind by 10 points just like that. But yeah, that his the one interception, the second interception he threw, that was the first bad interception that Josh Allen threw all season long. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because again, you can make an argument. It kind of cost us, right? We were down by 10 points. Buffalo had a very solid drive. They started to find Cole Beasley a lot, especially when Tennessee started playing more zone coverage. And that interception just killed the game. It was the seal right there. And Buffalo's defense couldn't stop Tennessee all day long. Buffalo's defense has sucked all year round. And I don't know what Buffalo has to do to get it fixed. They can't get a pass rush going. Injuries are literally plaguing this football team all year round. And I don't know what we have to do to get it fixed. But Buffalo plays Kansas City next week. But going back to Josh Allen, again, it was just an average day, right? He had some bad throws. He had some really good throws. He had we had a lot of missed opportunities. It was just the play calling really wasn't that good as well. Normally I give Dable the credit for saying that he's the best first half offensive coordinator in football. He called an okay. It wasn't a bad game he called in the first half, but it wasn't a great one. There were some play calls where it definitely stopped our drive, definitely killed our drive, like the double screen play where Tennessee's literally have 8 dudes in the box. And, I mean, they were disguising it. It was pretty much coverage, but they pretty much disguised the 8-man in the box. But, we got to get better. That's just simple as that. The Bills have got to get better. They got destroyed. This was clearly not the Bills' game from literally the first pass of the game with Andre Roberts, with that pass, with him tipping it up to the defender. Whether if it was a fumble and whether if it was Andre Roberts fumbling to give Tennessee the 42 points, we just had a lot of missed opportunities. And this is the NFL. Stuff like this happens, but it's not going to get any easier because after that you got the Chiefs, you got the Patriots coming down the line, you got the Seahawks coming up down the line. This is not easy for the Buffalo Bills at all. So they got to get it together. And, but once again, congratulations to the Tennessee Titans. You guys definitely deserved it. Definitely kicked our ass tonight. For the Buffalo Bills, like I said again, just got to get their shit together. Simple as that. Can't dwell on this game. Got to look at them. Got to look what you did wrong and fix it. Because Kansas City will whoop our ass if we don't make changes quickly. But anyway, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to like the video, share the video, and also subscribe, especially if you want more Bills content in the future. And that's all I got for you guys, at least for now. So anyway, Gen 716, aka Gen Sports. I'll check you guys out later. Peace.